Hello and welcome everyone, and today we are going to start our new topic on the design of doubly reinforced beam. So till now we have covered on the topic of singly reinforced beam, and design of such a beam we have discussed with almost four numerical problems also with you. And in this video we are going to start with doubly reinforced beam. So the very first questions that may come into our mind, that why are we providing extra steel reinforcement in compression zone also? So in doubly reinforced beam, we not only provide reinforcement bars in the tensile zone, but we also provide extra steel reinforcement bars in the compression zone also. So it may appear to our mind that, sir, we are going to increase our cost because we are providing steel in the bottom also and the top also. So we are going to increase our cost. But if you look at the cost, it is not like that. In fact, it says we are minimizing our cost by providing extra steel reinforcement in the same rectangular beam. Now the question may come, how? Okay. So if you look, when we go for the doubly reinforced beam, of course, when the loads are very high, and in such case, if the load is very high, if the external load on the beam is very high, of course, the resulting moment in the beam, bending moment, will also be very high. So the resistance, flexural resistance of the beam, that is denoted by moment of resistance, mu is the ultimate moment of resistance, also is very high. So much so that mu exceeds mu limiting. Okay. So we know that mu limiting is the maximum limiting ultimate moment of resistance. Mu limiting is the ultimate moment of resistance, and this is the limiting value, and beyond which the beam cannot carry any more moment. So this is the limiting value. But when the loads are very high, then the moments will increase. So much so that it also crosses the limiting boundary. And in such cases, the beams or any member will surely fail. So in such cases, when the loads are very high, then what we usually do to increase the limiting moment of resistance, we try to revise the section. Now what is this revising of section? Revising of section means, if our section was like of smaller size, okay, we try to revise the section by increasing the width and the depth of the section. So if you compare the revised and the initial section, you can easily guess which one is costly. I think all of you must will agree with, the revised section will become very costly because we are going to increase the width and the depth of the beam, both. When we revise the section, and then we can provide the reinforcement bars at the bottoms, and we can easily construct singly reinforced beams. Okay. But in our cases, we do not always revise the section. See, what is the loss in revising? If you increase the depth of the beam, what will happen? If in our classrooms the beams are very deep, then it will be like reaching to our head, and to the clients also, to the person also, the cost will increase. Also, revision of section will increase the dead load of the building. So where is the benefit? So instead of revising the section and making it a singly reinforced thereafter, what we do not revise the section. Instead, we provide extra reinforcement in the top also as well as the bottom also. But we also provide few reinforcement bars in the top also. Okay, this is the beam which is a doubly reinforced beam. Now if we are providing reinforcement bar at the top and bottom also, so we have to ensure clear cover CC at the bottom as well as clear cover at the top, because clear cover protects our reinforcement bar from being exposed to the external environment, otherwise it will corrode very fast. Okay, but don't get confused with the value of effective depth. This value of effective depth, a small d, will always be calculated from the top to the center of the bottom steel reinforcement, and this effective depth small d will always be equal to gross depth minus clear cover at the bottom, not at the top. Okay, so this is going to be same in all the calculations that we are going to reach. So I am not going to discuss much more calculations, but how do we proceed for doubly reinforced beam and what is the design philosophy, why do we do it, and why does the need of doubly reinforced arises. So that point we are trying to understand in this video. The area of steel reinforcement at the compression zone is represented by ASC. If this is our neutral axis, concrete in this zone is compression zone. So similarly AST is the area of steel reinforcement in tension zone. Okay, now if you see there are 3 bars in the compression zone and there are 5 bars in the tension zone, and if the diameter of bars is equal to d, then what is the value of area of steel reinforcement in compression zone? ASC will be equal to 3 times pi d square by 4. Very easy. Similarly AST will be equal to 5 times pi d square by 4. I hope this is very clear to you. Now suppose in a case, if we take a case in which our applied moment mu, how do we calculate the applied moment? And if there is some UDL acting on this beam and the UDL value is WU, then what is the bending moment, maximum bending moment value at the center of mid span of the beam? Mu will be equal to WU L effective square by 8, basically WL square by 8. Okay, what is WU? WU is the factored load, 1.5 times working load. Okay, so this is clear. L effective is the effective length of beam between center to center distance through supports. Okay, दो सपोर्ट्स के ये जो सेंटर्स हैं इन दोनों के बीच का डिस्टेंस, यहाँ से इस पॉइंट से लेकर इस पॉइंट तक का. ठीक है, इफ इट कम्स आउट टू बी 400 किलो न्यूटन मीटर, सपोज दैट योर अप्लाइड मोमेंट इज वेरी हाई because the load is very high, and if you are also calculating the maximum capacity of cross section mu limiting, and we have discussed the formula of mu limiting in our previous video, and if you calculate using all the dimension values, then you come out to be 350 kilonewton meter. Okay, then what we do is that, do we revise the section? No, we make it doubly reinforced beam. So when do we design doubly reinforced beam? It should be very clear. Same thing I am going to discuss here also. We assume we have been given all the datas, FCK, FY, WU, L effective, B and D. Then first of all calculate maximum load carrying capacity of the beam, mu limiting. And how do we calculate it? I have told you this formula many a times, and I think you have all the values. So by this we calculate the capacity of our cross section, and then we can also very easily calculate the applied moment due to the external load on the beam, and this is very easy. This is WU factored load multiplied by L effective square by 8. So we have to do comparison between these two moments. Okay, and if you get the value of mu less than mu limiting, मीन्स अप्लाइड मोमेंट कम है मोमेंट कैरिंग कैपेसिटी से, तो क्या करें? तब तो बहुत ही आसान है, सिंपली वी गो फॉर डिजाइन ऑफ singly reinforced beam and we can make our beam singly reinforced beam and the section will be under reinforced. This is very happy news for us. But what happens if in case mu is exactly equal to mu limiting? This is just a coincidence, यह एक इत्तफाक है. In such cases design of singly reinforced beam will be done, but the beam will be balanced section. Okay, and in balanced section mu is equal to mu limiting, and this is very rare that we are going to achieve. Most of the cases mu is either less than mu limiting or mu exceeds the value of mu limiting. So now comes our present case, that if the applied moment on the beam exceeds the limiting carrying capacity of the beam mu, so in such case if we are going to design only singly reinforced beam, then the design will be over reinforced section, which is really prohibited by the code. So we cannot design a singly reinforced beam, otherwise design will be over reinforced, and this is not allowed. So what we can do? We can design for the doubly reinforced beam, and this is where we want to reach, design a doubly reinforced beam. Now for what values of moment we are going to design in the doubly reinforced beam? Because we have to design for the applied moment. Our beam should be sufficient to carry the applied moment on the beam. So we have to design our beam doubly reinforced beam, but moment will be same as applied moment mu, and this value of mu is written in a expanded manner, and this is called a manipulation in mathematics. You write the same thing in a little manipulated manner, which ultimately comes out to be the same value. So what we have done here as mu limiting plus mu minus mu limiting. Now if you see what we can do, this mu limiting can be cancelled with this mu limiting, and ultimately it comes out to be mu only. So what we have done here, we have done just one addition of mu limiting and one subtraction of mu limiting in this equation. Okay, so this is the procedure in design. Now we know that in doubly reinforced beam mu limiting, this mu limiting is less than mu. Okay, this is clear to us, because in our case mu limiting was coming out to be 350, suppose that 350 kilonewton meter, and mu was coming out to be 400 kilonewton meter, suppose that. So we have to design for extra mu minus mu limiting, that is 400 minus 350, which is equal to 50 kilonewton meter extra. For this extra moment we have to design by providing additional reinforcement, where? In the top and the bottom of the section. Okay, so we are not just going to design for mu limiting, but we are also going to consider the extra moment which we have to consider in our design. So we consider both mu limiting plus mu minus mu limiting, which ultimately comes out to be mu. Okay, so this is the final picture that we have to understand, that this is my doubly reinforced beam. Okay, which can very easily carry the ultimate moment which is applied on it equal to 400 kilonewton meter. This is called superposition principle. You break one complex part into two simple parts and try to understand by those two parts, and then you superimpose both parts to get the complex part. So this is my figure 1 and this is my figure 2. Okay. So figure 1, you are seeing a beam which is basically singly reinforced beam, and in that there is fully concrete. Okay, there is concrete everywhere except in these three dotted holes. There is no concrete. Okay, in these three holes there is no concrete. All right, so I have shown you these by the dotted lines, and then there are only 3 bars in the tensile reinforcement AST1. Okay, so this is a figure of balanced singly reinforced beam which can very easily carry mu limiting. ठीक है, and this beam will carry 350 kilonewton meter. Suppose that if it carries 350 kilonewton meter, then we also have to provide some extra steel in this beam only. So we have made another picture in which we have shown you a dotted line. Now what is this dotted line? This dotted line is just for your clarity, for your understanding, but we have provided no concrete. That's why it is shown by dotted lines from the boundary. But we have provided 2 more steel bars at the bottom. That's why we have denoted it by AST2, and few steel bars in the compression zone also, whose area is written as ASC. Okay, so this ASC and this AST2 are just positioned in such a way that they balance each other, and the moment that they are going to resist is equal to mu minus mu limiting, which is in our case, suppose that if it was 400 kilonewton meter and then it was 350 kilonewton meter, so this portion can easily carry 50 kilonewton meter. So ultimately we will get the beam as mu equal to 400 kilonewton meter. Now if we superimpose this figure 1 over figure 2, then what we will get? In figure 1 there is full concrete, in figure 2 there is no concrete, so ultimately we will get full concrete structure. Okay, and then in these holes we can superimpose these 3 reinforcement bars whose area is ASC in the compression zone. So here is what you get, ASC. Now if you superimpose this AST1 in figure 1 and AST2 in figure 2, which is equal to, you will get AST. Now we can easily write AST is equal to AST1 plus AST2. Okay, or you can also say if there are 3 bars in first figure and there are 2 bars in second figure, then in the superimposed image there will be 5 bars. So we will discuss most of the calculation part of doubly reinforced beam in our second video. So till that, stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you very much.